Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a good day today. I definitely had a better day than I did yesterday. Yesterday was a struggle. Not not so much trading, but some days you just have things that just irritate you or nag at you, and you just have to get away. I mean, I didn't even, it wasn't until late last night that I even got back on my computer. So didn't really have time to look through my trades or anything from yesterday. And I'll probably do that this weekend. But sometimes you just have to walk away to refresh your mind and hit the reset button. That's pretty much what I did yesterday evening. So I didn't do a trade recap on it. I just kind of downloaded my trades from Sure Trader and did one on Speed Trader yesterday and just let it go at that. But today I had three tickers on watch from this morning. Really wasn't excited about too many of them because of the way they were trading pre-market didn't really get to where I wanted them to be. Like for instance, INCY. For me, I wanted this to be trading above the VWAP and hold this level at open, and give me an entry so that I could go long up into this area of resistance and then possibly short it back. What I'm doing, I'm looking now for getting two moves out of these tickers. The moves are there, and you'll see in a minute on the one I did trade. The moves are there, and if you've seen my recaps from the last couple of weeks, I pointed out moves, secondary moves that I just missed because I wasn't in the game. My head wasn't in the game. I took profit on that one trade and just kind of walked away and start looking at stuff other people are looking at. And, I kind of want to get out of that and just kind of stay focused. So I had a double plan for this. This didn't materialize. The 10 minutes in the open, it lost this level and it started washing. So I just let it go. Just really took that one off my watch because it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. NYL was the other one on my watch. This one wasn't too bad, but I expected the same thing. I wanted it to hold this level so I can get a trade in this window here. I didn't want to see it get down into this stuff because until it got here, this was a little over $1 that I could have picked up, and this was a little bit more. So, getting into these two windows was okay with me, but it kind of took out these two, and it kind of consolidated here on this level. But this wasn't my favorite one. I would have loved to trade this because I could have sized in, could have gotten my 1,000 shares position size on this, but I just felt the other one on watch, EXPE, had a better range, a better opportunity for me to make a little bit more money, and it turns out that it did. It was a little bit iffy at the beginning because I was a little unsure of what to do. Really should have taken it short here under the 9, even though it was above the VWAP. I could have taken it here and used the 9 as a stop. That if it pushed over the 9, get out. But I waited and I decided that I would get in once it, lost the VWAP, or it was looking like it was going to lose the VWAP, and I could, take a trade basing it off the VWAP so I could have a nice, risk reward and all of that. I feel more comfortable taking trades off of a defined area of support or resistance. And in this case, this was using the VWAP made me feel better about my entry. and more comfortable in the trade. So that's what I did. And you just have to not worry about what you give up. If you're more comfortable having a safety net, then that's the way you need to trade. And that's the way I trade. That's what I need in order for me to be successful. And as long as I'm making the money I need to take care of me and my family, I'm not going to, change a thing until I'm ready. So I use a VWAP here. I got in at 179. I was wanting to get in at 101, but that order never filled, and I had to chase it with a market order. So I did get in at 179. I wanted to trade. I knew, marketing it in, I would lose a couple cents, but I wouldn't miss the big move. And turns out, everything worked out fine. I did cover too early here. Just because it washed down to 100 pretty quick wasn't a reason for me to click it. My first profit target on this was right here. Now, because it was $100 stock, the most I could take on it was 600 shares. And I always like to leave some buying power on the table because with Short Trader, they've had some issues in the past where you've been short and you need to buy the cover and you don't have any buying power. So the system kicks you out because it's saying you're trying to buy stock and you don't have, it's rejecting it because you don't have the buying power, even though you're in the trade and you're trying to buy the cover. So I'm real careful about not maxing out my buying power in situations like this. So I only got 600 shares and covered 300 here, for a 79-cent gain. And really, I should have gotten it down here to, 99.50. But, I just gave up 50 cents on the first cover. The second target was the 200, and I did catch that. As soon as it got there, I had an order waiting, and, it was able to get hit and get filled. So that was a perfect, beautiful way to start my morning. $1,000 hit right off the bat. For somebody whose minimum daily goal is $350, $1,000 hit out of the gate. I mean, I could close up shop and go home. And if I wasn't a moderator in the chat, I probably would do that, just to leave well enough alone. But I enjoy doing what I'm doing and chatting with people all day. So that kind of keeps my mind occupied as well. So that was my trade on EXPE. What really ticked me off, or I can say pissed me off on this, what really pissed me off is that I had the idea going into this trade that when it hit the 200, I was going to get out and I was going to flip it long, basing it off of this level. Well, you can see what happened when it opened. This candle opened, it washed out all the way back to 97. So watching that washout, it took me right out of the trade. I mean, took me completely out of the mindset that I needed to get in this trade. And still should have jumped on it once it came back. But by then I was shell shocked and just watched it run on up. And this was the killer right here. This was my vacation trade. And, just kind of gave it away. And these are the type moves that really make me mad because I can trade this both ways. Could have had $2, maybe $3 in the bank and been done for the day. But, this is something that I'm working on, that I'm trying to keep my focus on. I'm cutting down on as many distractions as I can, during the first hour or two that I'm trading, so I can try to nail these moves. But this was just beautiful. This was a beautiful reversal. and just plain missed it. The next one I did traded was BA. Now this one was a news play, and that a news play is not one of my typical strategies. It's something that I'm learning, and when watching Mike and trying to learn how he does it. But when these things come up, any trade I take, I like to base it off of a level of support or resistance or VWAP. I don't really like using moving averages too much to taking a trade off of. I'll use it to manage the trade and as profit targets on reversals when I'm making the move back up to the moving averages. But I was just looking for a solid level to take this trade off of. And I wanted to short it. It was looking like a good short. And I think Mike was saying he wanted it at the 109s. I wanted it to hit VWAP because I wanted to click it here and base this trade off of VWAP. But it never got it. So I ended up taking it using 108 as a guide. And whole numbers are solid for me. They usually give tickers a moment of pause or two. So to me, the whole numbers are fairly well. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but they're solid areas of support and resistance that I can take a trade off of. Or at least it usually gives a ticker some pause so that if it's going to run away, it'll give me time to really get out of it before I really get hurt. But I took it right here at 108 and again got a wash down and clicked it too soon. I took half off at 107.55. Now this ticker I was only in 500 shares, and I took 250 off there and just held 250 and still kind of clicked it too early. Because this wasn't my normal setup, I wasn't comfortable in the trade, but I did make money off of it. I got out of it here on this candle at 106.85 because I just wasn't comfortable. And, you can see what happened on the next candle. And then on subsequent candles, it washed all the way to 102.10. But I guess if I had my whole 1,000 shares, I would have at least had a quarter left on to get here. But only trading half my normal size and then not being comfortable yet. This is something that I'm learning. And I watch Mike's recaps and, watch him again at night because you never stop learning. And no matter how good you get, and no matter how consistent you get, you're always looking to find edges for you to get better, more consistent, and take less losses. And that's kind of what I do. I listen to Ross every day. I listen to Mike every day. When Jeff talks, I listen to him. Everybody has value, and everybody adds value to, my education and my trading. I guess it comes from being a teacher that you're always learning. Teaching is an art form, and I think trading is an art form. There's no right or wrong. Well, there's a wrong way to do it, but I think there are more right ways and more finesse that you can bring into trading and adding your own style, adding your own stamp to it. And you just build off of what other people do and mold it and shape it into, your deal. And that's what I've done. And, it's worked great for me. I've learned how to adapt. And all of these things are, things that we learn as a trader. And as we grow, we get better at these things. So I'm going to stop babbling. That's all I have for today. Like I said, so far this was my profit chart for February. You can see Monday last Monday I didn't do anything, no trades. Had a strong week last week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And in this week, try to trade Monday. Ended up losing $4. And let's see, 380 on Tuesday. That was a pretty rough day, but I made my daily goal. Had to kind of grind it out. Yesterday was kind of a grind. Got 994, and then today was just a awesome day. Just a complete awesome day. So hopefully I'll have a strong day tomorrow. We'll finish out strong. If not, that's fine too. We have to know we got to learn how to lose. And on most of these days, I had one or two red trades, but I managed my risk and I knew when to cut it off. And that's how I got to where I am right now. So everybody have a great evening, and I hope to see you tomorrow, bright and early in chat.